Hello and welcome to Midnight Scribe's Creative Vibes, where we speak to the best of the bronies and discover what makes them tick. It's going late into the year and you know what that means in Scotland. Time to bring out the big jackets, it's getting cold in here. Also, there is a wee little convention in Glasgow called Bronyscot. You know, Scotland's only MLP convention, been going for 6 years now. I interviewed myself about it last year during a bout of winter madness when my esteemed friend Soundcheck was unable to make it. Well, don't worry, fillies and gentlecoats, we have solved the issue this year. Today I'm having a nice friendly chat with the lassie responsible for the cosplay parade last year, alongside running around like a maddie helping everyone while dressed as Fluttershy. She's also running the cosplay parade this year and is responsible for the opening and closing ceremonies at this year's con. I should get her to do that for my show, I'm getting bored of the same old script I have. Well, let's give a nice big warm creative vibes welcome to Cherry Sparks. Cherry, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks for the warm welcome.
Hey, don't mention it, it's nice to have you on. And hey, listen, look, Bronyscot, it is going to be absolutely fantastic. And I tell you what, the guest lineup you've got sorted out for this year is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we've been putting a lot of work into getting different guests. This year we've got Sarah Richards, who is an artist who works on comic books. We've got J.M. Barrow, who wrote some of the books for the series, and of course we've also got Nowaking, who will be appearing in the UK for the first time.
Oh, exactly. It'll be great to have Jesse over on this end of the pond at long last, because you know, just an absolutely classic guy, and like, you know, the voice acting that he's done and the things he's gotten involved with, you know, he's become certainly a cult figure in the community, so it'll be great to have him along. And having Sarah Richards is going to be fantastic, especially as well. I met her at BronyCon this year along with Chris, who's one of the volunteers at Bronyscot, and she's a mad one, definitely. She is going to fit in like no one else. And GM Barrow... Sorry, you go.
My first experience at Bronyscot back in 2017 is anything to go by. Everyone who goes to the convention is very welcome.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone who comes to Bronyscot is lovely. It's got a really nice kind of community feel to it. You know, it's not too big, not too small. A lot of the people know each other. It's quite chill. It's a good session. And, you know, speaking of the con, what kind of fun events are happening at this year's convention?
Well, we've got plenty of things lined up. We've got, obviously, the cosplay contest, which was well received last year. We've got the opening and closing ceremonies, but, you know, that's standard con fair. We've got your Brony house.
Oh, yes, plug. I'm at Bronyscot this year again.
We've also got a Skype call with GM Barrow, which I'm very much looking forward to. We've also got, of course, we've got a plushie making workshop with Violet Rose. We've also got a panel with Mad Munchkin, as she does most years.
Oh, exactly. We've always got to have Maddie there as well. I mean, you know, if she's Scottish, she's in our neck of the woods. That, you know, if we didn't have her, it would just not be right. And speaking of Mad Munchkin as well, like, yourself and Mad Munchkin are going to be keeping the opening and closing ceremonies on track and on point. Like,
yes. Maddie is asked me if I wanted a co-host. I said, yeah, you know what, that'll probably go down well. So she's going to be co-hosting and co-emceeing the opening and closing ceremonies with me.
And how much are you looking forward to that? Because, I mean, I know you've put a lot of effort into this as well, and particularly in the, like, you've rose up through, like, the Bronyscot ranks in last year, just, like, you know, from doing, like, the cosplay parade and helping out. Now you're doing the you know, opening and closing ceremonies, you're doing more events, you're taking more of a lead. Like, it's a huge change. Like, you know, how are you feeling about taking that on?
Oh, it's it's been a lot of fun just taking on the extra challenge and being able to help out more where needed. Because as most people who attended last year can vouch, I wasn't just doing all of the cosplay stuff. I was also, running around making sure that people were okay, just in general, reminding all of the vendors that they need to eat.
That is definitely a trap of conventions. Is vendors, cosplayers, even the volunteers and so on, just forgetting that we kind of need substance in order to survive. And I tell you what, actually, speaking of substance, deluxe ticket items, hip flask, that is legit awesome.
Yeah, it was just kind of crazy last year how I started kind of just doing everything.
Yeah, you did end up just running around like a maddie for sure. Like, there was no way. You didn't really rest, to put it bluntly.
No, I didn't rest until maybe 9 o'clock in the evening when Lewis, soundcheck, noticed that I was about to pass out and just said, right, that's it, you're not doing anything for the rest of the day.
Well, hopefully this year, even with the new responsibilities, you will actually take a break at some point, because we don't need more broken down poems during the convention. But I tell you what, speaking about the previous conventions, what do you reckon are the bigger changes that have happened since last year?
Well, definitely the bigger changes since last year is that there's an actual plan in place for the opening ceremony rather than just being improv'd on the spot.
All I'll say to that is no comment. I'm trying to forget about the fact that I was involved in that personally. Yes, I'm guilty as charged there.
Oh, well, I don't hold you responsible. Don't worry about that.
But yeah, it'll be great to have a plan for the opening and closing ceremonies, and also just in terms of bringing the convention to a tighter place, because obviously last year, most of the committee who came on board were brand new and basically rushing to get everything together. I know we've said before that every conventions have been held together with gaffer tape and hopes and dreams, but I think in our case it was literally held together. But actually speaking about that, how did you actually get involved in Bronyscot in the first place?
It was actually I was friends with the old person who handled all the finances before he moved to Germany, and he messaged me in October of 2016 saying, "Hey, Cherry, we need someone to come and do our cosplay contest. Can you do it?" And I was like, yeah, let me just book my train, but I'll need somewhere to stay. He's like, yeah, it's okay, you can crash at my place. I was like, no problem. So I booked a train ticket and was in charge of the cosplay contest in 2017. And then since then, I've just sort of taken on more and more responsibilities as the past few years have gone by.
And speaking of cosplays, the cosplay parade has always been a highlight of Bronyscot. And what, in your opinion, because you've done cosplays, you've led the cosplay parade, what, in your opinion, makes for the best cosplays, and what do you enjoy most about it?
What makes the best cosplays is it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. If someone has put time and effort into, wanting to cosplay a character, that's great. Or if someone's just decided, hey, I like this character, I want to cosplay them and bought a cosplay, that is also great. They in a lot of the cosplay community, there is the sort of mindset of, oh, if you bought your cosplay, you're not a real cosplayer. And I disagree with that completely, because it's just like, some people don't have the time and effort, don't have the time to put that much effort in to making their own cosplay. So the only alternative for them is to buy a cosplay, which I've done myself in the past. I've also made cosplays in the past. But the best thing about it is just seeing people have fun.
Well, that should be it, isn't it? At the end of the day, we're celebrating, a fandom, characters, the joy it brings to us, whether you're making, a hand-stitched costume or you're buying one, at the end of the day, it's all meant to be about that fun and celebration, isn't it?
Yeah, that's completely what it's meant to be about. If you like a character and you want to celebrate what that character means to you, that should be the only stipulation as to what you can do when it comes to cosplay.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you're meant to be having fun. No question about it. And I tell you what, speaking about having fun, Rock Nessie, that is going to be amazing this year. I mean, obviously, Rock Nessie every year is a highlight. You know, some brilliant musicians from, you know, all around Europe come around, put on a great show at the Classic Grand in Glasgow, and just absolutely rock the house down. What kind of acts have been booked so far for this year's Rock Nessie? Who can we reveal?
So far, we have some of our regulars, such as Catastrophe and Bass Poon. But we've also got some people who will be their first time performing at Rock Nessie, in that case of being Prince Whatever. Kill him for that name, because I can never get the amount of ers right.
I'm pretty sure
Prince... As well as Lavender Harmony.
Oh, that's a fantastic lineup. And I believe Noak's going to be doing some performances there as well.
Yes, Noak has been talking with a few of the people that he knows when it comes to Rock Nessie, and apparently they've been talking about him being part of one of their sets.
Well, I tell you what, that will be an absolutely brilliant reason to get your tickets for Rock Nessie, which, by the way, if you haven't bought it yet, go ahead and buy it. Get your tickets. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. And I tell you what, I want to ask you one kind of last major question, because, you know, we've gone a little bit into the convention, and we've gone a bit in terms of, like, you know, how you've done cosplay and so on. You know, you've actually had a ridiculous amount of experience in terms of, you know, assisting in various conventions, you know, both kind of general geekery stuff and also MLP conventions. Like, your resume is absolutely mad, the amount of stuff you've done.
Oh, thank you. Yes, my first pony convention that I worked at was Book 2016, which that was one hell of a weekend. I was completely exhausted by the end of it, but it was all worth it. It was all worth it just to see people smiling.
Aww.
And then that led on to me working at UK PonyCon for 2 years, 2017 and 2018. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, don't worry, hang a sec.
Which was just a ton of fun. I made some good friends. I made some good friends doing that, and as well as I got told at UK PonyCon 2018 that I was working at British Isles 2019. The organizer just said that I was working. He didn't ask if I wanted to. It was just, you're working for us. Like, okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, I'll do that.
I think that's what we refer to as poaching talent.
But, you know, it was a lot of fun, and it's just been sort of a roller coaster since of different conventions asking me if I don't mind volunteering for them, as well as other conventions, some international conventions. People already know me just from word of mouth.
Ooh, well, I mean, dare I ask, like, what sort of conventions we might possibly be seeing you run in the future?
Well, if you know, we were completely working with, if I was able to get to international conventions with no problem, I'd definitely be trying to get as many conventions ticked off as possible, just to get experience.
I can see you have an Excel spreadsheet just getting ready to tick them all off as you can hit them one by one.
Oh, don't tempt me.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've actually got one final question for you. Something a little more lighthearted anyways, because it's like I said, the previous questions have been about yourself, been about the convention. You know, I want to talk a little bit more about the committee members. And
Okay.
just a nice quick question. Don't worry, it's not scandalous in any way, shape or form. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the various people who either are on the committee or have recently left and so on. And basically what I'd like you to do is to choose which of the main 6 you would associate with each Bronyscot member.
Oh boy.
So I will list them off. You pick the pony, you can justify it if you want, or we can skip by. And, yeah, I'll be curious to see what your results are, and I think the rest of the committee will be curious to hear about this as well, so this will be a little fun game. So here we go. Sound check.
I would say Applejack, because he works hard and he just wants other people to have a good time, but he doesn't necessarily have to be fully hands-on.
Well, hey, that sounds like a great reason. And Sugar Dove.
Oh, Sugar Dove is definitely a Twilight, because she wants everything organised, and she is great at dealing with problems as they come up. If it's before the conventions, but if it's on the day, she's just like, Cherry, deal with this. You know how to fix these things on the day. I'm like, okay, I'll try.
And also Sugar Dove is a big fan of pudding as well, so that's another comparison point. Infinite Affection.
Now that's it. I would say, given how he likes things to be organised, and he's also good at dealing with, mass amounts of numbers, I would say it's probably a bit of a rarity.
Well, that's fair enough. I'm curious to hear what he says about that when he gets home from work. Next one, Enjoy Pizza.
So she's definitely a bit of a fluttershy. Like, she's always looking out for people, but she doesn't necessarily need the spotlight on her.
Okay, and Man Munchkin.
I would say again, probably a bit of probably rarity, just because of how creative that Maddie is, and how she's always there for people, and she's always willing to listen, try to help out as much as she can.
Oh, that's definitely Maddie to a T there, creative and wanting to help out, no question of it. And we've got two more left, and second to last is Midnight Scribe.
Gee, I wonder what would happen if I said something bad right now.
You are 2 rooms away, just remember.
I would say possibly Pinkie Pie, because you like to keep everyone's energy up and make sure that everyone's smiling, and if anyone needs a hand, you're more than willing to provide it.
Hey, I'll certainly take that. It's a little different. I must admit, I've never been compared to Pinkie Pie, but I'm not mad about that. It's certainly interesting to hear about that. It's just like, ooh, introspective. No, introspective thoughts. No, can't do this. Not now. No. We're getting back to the fun stuff. Final one, Cherry Sparks.
Well, I mean, as anyone from Bronyscot can probably vouch, is when I'm at conventions, I seem to just have bundles of energy, and I'm more than willing to people going. So I'd say probably Pinkie as well, because I'm especially last year where I was, just sort of some of the committee members weren't feeling so good, so I took their jobs of just, hey, I'll do this, you rest, and just trying to keep everyone's spirits up. I think people who went to Bronyscot last year would probably say I'm a bit like Pinkie Pie in that respect.
Yeah, I would agree that, the amount you helped out, the bundles of energy, yeah, you never let up. So, I mean, no question of it. And, and you're bouncy and mad as well, and you're awesome. So, yeah, no question of it. I reckon, yeah, you've definitely got Pinkie Pie in you, no question. But I tell you what, we're actually needing to wrap up the episode for today. But no, Cherry, it has been great having you on. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you're looking forward to Bronyscot, and we're all looking forward to seeing how the convention goes this year.
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to Bronyscot. It is definitely a highlight of the quarter months for me. So,
well, I'll tell you what, we need to wrap up the show. So, just as a final question, where can we find Bronyscot on the web?
You can find Bronyscot at brony.scot. It's pretty simple. It's just the name of the convention with a dot in between Brony and Scott, and you can buy your tickets there, as well as see what guests we have and any musicians that we will be announcing in a few days.
No worries. So we'll have that website in the description below, along with any social media. Do get your tickets. It is Scotland's only Brony convention, and hey, listen, like, we're in year 9 of, Friendship is Magic, the season ending, all the rest, all the support, all the power there. Come along, enjoy and celebrate the fandom. But we will wrap up the show there for tonight. My thanks to Cherry Sparks for being on the show. My thanks to all of you for watching. And I do hope that we're going to actually see some of you at Bronyscot. So take care, have a good night, and we'll see you at the convention.